In this video, I'm going to give away my whole content management system for 2025. And with this system, you can currently do 10 things. And I'm going to show you exactly what these are. So the first use case is taking whatever topic you have in mind, adding it to this ideas field, and getting research information from Perplexity AI done for you in a matter of seconds. The second use case is taking whatever topic again and creating a long video script from this. And the third use case is similar. This is turning an idea into short video script. The fourth use case is a bit more interesting. This is turning a single TikTok video, taking this URL and automatically reposting it to LinkedIn, to YouTube Shorts, to Facebook, and all these other channels. The fifth use case is generating LinkedIn posts with images, and these look like this. The sixth use case is turning any idea or YouTube transcript into regular text-based LinkedIn posts, like this one here. The seventh use case is taking any copy and turning it into a newsletter. And then the eighth use case is turning any copy into a blog post that you can publish. The ninth use case is taking a YouTube video, transcribing it automatically, and then you can use this transcription to create other copy types. And then there is the 10th use case, and this is storing the prompts that you're using throughout this whole automation in Airtable. So you can easily change them here, and they will be automatically added to your content system here. So let's get into it. So before we start building it all up, I'm going to show you quickly how it works. So I'm using Airtable to store all of the information and to trigger all of the automations. Here I also have this ideas field, and I have added one idea here. This is just something I thought about the other day, so I wrote it down. And now I can do several things with this. So I can write the blog draft from this. I can write the newsletter. I can write the text-based LinkedIn post. I can get the LinkedIn post with an image that uses it as my own quote with my picture. I can write a short video script, a long video script, or I can research this idea a bit more with Perplexity AI. So maybe let's write the newsletter from this. So I just choose this action, and this triggers make.com automation here. Let's wait a second. And it started now. And first, it's actually catching the right prompt that I'm using from this field here. And then once it has the prompts, it's going to pick the right route, like this one here is for the newsletter. It's generating the newsletter, and once it's done, it's going to update Airtable. So now it's done. And here I also have this action field updated, and now I just open up this record. The original idea is here, and the newsletter post is here. So I can go over this, see if I like it. If there's something systematically wrong with this, I should go back to updating my prompts. My prompt for a newsletter is here. So I just have to add some additional information here to make the next run smoother. And I can actually go on and do some other stuff here as well. So maybe let's get the LinkedIn post with an image here. And now you can see it's using the status as processing, so I know that the automation is going on. And here I can see it running again, and it took a different route this time because I wanted a different type of content. And it's generating the images. And the last step again is going to be updating the Airtable field. Okay, and now it's done. Let's check it out. Let's open this up again. And now I have this LinkedIn post, the text, and also the images that I can use with this text. And of course, I can use these images in my newsletter or blog post or whatever as well. Okay, let's close this up. And then I also have a few of these actions, like a transcribe YouTube video from link. So for this to work, I first need to add a YouTube link to this field, and only then I can choose this action and it will work. And another one is repost TikTok video to these other channels. But this also, I first need to add the TikTok link here, and then I can choose this action. And then it posts my TikTok video to all the other channels automatically, and it takes the titles and all the information that's needed. So first, let's close all these other tabs. So the absolutely easiest way to start is to go to aimarketingmasters.com, which is a private community where you get all of these resources and help if you need it. And here you can download the blueprint for the make.com automation. So if you have this blueprint, you just go and open up this new scenario. And down here, there's an option to import blueprint. Okay, and now I have this file selected. And now it populated the whole automation. And now you just have to connect your own accounts and also set up this Airtable. But you can get this Airtable base template as well from aimarketingmasters.com. So first you need to start with the Airtable base. And the things you have to set up are these two bases here. One is content and one is prompts. So let's start with the content part. The first field that you have to set up is the ID field. And this is an auto number field type. And the second field is the most important one in terms of the automations. This is the actions field. And I have also added this emoji here just to bring attention to this. And this is a single select field type. And here I have the following options. First is transcribe YouTube video from link. Then second, write blog draft from any written copy. Third, write newsletter from any written copy. Write LinkedIn post from any written copy. Repost TikTok video to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube Shorts. And you can also add Instagram Reels here. Then the sixth one, get quote image plus post from any written copy. Seventh, write short video script. Eighth, write long video script. Then ninth is report from any idea. And then the two last ones are just to give away what is happening. One is processing, and then the last one is done. And basically these options, you can do whatever makes sense for your workflow and which content you need to create. So you don't have to do all of these. This is just what works for my workflow for now, and I'll probably add new ones as I go on. Okay, and then once this is done, save it. And then the field types that I have here, ideas field, where you can add any ad hoc ideas you have. Maybe it's just 2 words, maybe it's a full thought process that you have about something, but do a long text field type here. And then research field, another long text field type. Then a YouTube link field. This is a URL field type. Then TikTok link field. This is again a URL field type. Then a title, which is a short single line text field. A description, long text field. Transcript, another long text field. Newsletter post, another long text field. And then I have these 5 tweets, but actually I'm not using Twitter at all, so I'm gonna delete this one just because I don't have use for it. Then I have the LinkedIn post, another long text field, Facebook post, another long text field, although I'm using the same posts in LinkedIn and Facebook, so it's not really needed. Instagram post field, another long text field. Then I have the short video script field, and then a long video script. This is a long text field again. And then I also have these video files as an attachment field, but I haven't really started using it yet. So this is for me to figure out some type of automation in the future where I just add the video that I did, like a short form video, and it generates some type of like title and I can automatically start posting it. But I haven't figured it out. So right now I'm not using this. So we can actually delete it. And then the image files is an attachment field type. And the last field is modified time, which just shows me when something was created. Okay, and once you have all of this set up, you want to add at least one like test field. So right now, let's do one new idea. Let's just copy the last one. And actually, I can just delete all of this previous stuff so we can start fresh. Okay, and now let's add one idea here. I'll use the last one, and then let's use some type of action to start testing out the automation while we set it up. So maybe a newsletter draft from any written copy, and all the other fields right now can stay empty. So the next step, go back to make.com, and we have to set up the webhook here. So open up the webhook and add a new one, and you can name it whatever. And when you save it, it will show you a webhook URL. This is unique for your automation. And then you want to copy this URL a bit later. So once we are at this point, now go back to Airtable again and go to automations. So the trigger is going to be when record matches conditions here, and just choose the right table, which is the content table. And then the condition is when this action field is any of. And now just choose all of these action fields that you plan on using. And you can leave out the processing and done field. And then the next step is going to be run a script. And this is something that's always the same when I'm using make.com with Airtable. So the easiest thing to do is go to aimarketingmasters.com. You go to this prompts and scripts section, and here is a webhook script for Airtable automation. And you can then just copy this code part. And then if you open up this edit code, it's already here, but I'm showing you what you can do. You get rid of everything that's here before and just paste this short code snippet. And then this part you have to replace with your actual webhook. So let's go to make.com. Now copy the address of your webhook and paste it here. And then another thing you have to do is you have to set up this record ID here. I'll show you from scratch. So add input variable, record ID, and then the value is going to be Airtable record ID. And then just finish editing. The last step is update record. And here again, take the content table, and then the record ID here is Airtable record ID again. And the actions step is going to be updated, and it's going to be processing. Okay, and once we have this set up, we'll go back to make.com and let's unlink this first webhook first and then run it once. So only this webhook module is running. Then back to Airtable and let's test this automation. Let's select the record, and this is why we had to make this test record and run automation. Yeah, and it got the record ID here. And this means we can continue with automation. So you can now rehook this and start setting all of the accounts for Airtable and for all the other stuff. Now the next module is Airtable's get the record module, where we have to get this record ID from the first webhook module. And then here, these next 4 modules are going to be about getting the prompts from Airtable to make.com. So make sure in Airtable you have this prompts table set up as well. And here's how I use it. So I'm adding a prompt ID, which is an auto number field type. And then there's a description for the prompt, which is a single line text. And then I'm using this prompt field. It's mostly for user prompts. And this is a long text field. But there's also the system prompt here that I'm reusing for different AI modules. Okay, so let's get back to make.com. So for this to work, you have to set up an Airtable's search records module. And here, once you go into this Airtable base, set the table to prompts. So you're not taking the content table anymore, but the prompts table. And here the output fields choose all 3: prompt ID, description, and user. And then the next module is going to be a text aggregator module. And here the source module is going to be the previous Airtable's search records. Then the row separator set as other, and the separator as a comma. And if you go to the text part here, then just pause this video and copy paste this setup here. And I also have a separate video on how to set up this prompt system step by step, and I'll link this below as well. And then I'm using this Claude module, where the prompt is asking it to be a JSON formatter to output the cleaned up JSON. And I'm also giving it input from this text aggregator module. So basically, you just want to copy paste all of this stuff, and you don't have to know about coding that much. But basically, this AI module makes sure that you're not making any mistakes by adding whatever information in your prompts here, because the JSON files sometimes don't like the new lines or some other punctuations or symbols that you might be using. So I don't want to know like what's allowed and what's not. So this AI module is going to clean it up for me. And then the last module of this prompt system is going to be parse JSON. And here I'm just going to give it this Claude's output. So from content and text. And that's it. So make sure you set up this prompts table here as well. For me, it's like write blog post, write newsletter, write the LinkedIn post, make text into a short form video script, a long form video script, do topic research. And then I have the system prompt about using active language and banning some overused AI words. And there's also like write in first person social media, get 100 character title for the quote image. So these different use cases, but it's so much easier to come in here and start changing the prompts than go back to make.com every time and like find what the prompt was and make the changes. And then you have to save everything again. And like it's much easier in the long run. Okay, and now we're going to set up all of these routes for different content automations. And I have switched back to my original system now, and I'm not using the templates that I'm sharing. So it's already running, and it has these previous ideas here as well. So it's easier to show pre-populated how it all looks like. So the first route is going to be for transcribing the YouTube videos. So this is the first action here, transcribe YouTube video from a link. So for this, I need to add a YouTube video link here. So I'll show you one record here. So it's here. And first you want to set up a filter. Each route has to have a filter, and this is based on the action. The condition is the action field, and it has to be equal to whatever action this route is taking. So for this, it's transcribe YouTube video from link. So make sure you're using the exact same wording as you have here. So if you use the wording here, then make sure you update it here as well in the filters. And then for this workflow, I'm using Apify. Apify is a web scraper. So go create an account. You can use the free account and you have a $5 credit. You won't use all of this every month, so you don't have to upgrade to a paid plan for this workflow. Then find a YouTube scraper and then go through it at least once to populate it in your actors field once you start using the make.com automation. I'll show you in a second. So basically, maximum videos, you want to get this one. And then in this direct URLs, add your YouTube link or whatever test link. We're going to replace it later. And then also download the subtitles and save the subtitles. And then just run the actor once, as I said. And once you go to make.com, you add the run an actor, not run a task, run an actor module with your Apify connection. And if you have this test run done, then you will see this actor here. And then just pick the right actor, YouTube scraper, and run synchronously. This is important to put this as yes. And then there's a bit of code, but don't freak out. We can use copy paste. So basically go back to Apify. And here, when we use the manual options, just go to the JSON file and copy the whole thing. Then go back to make.com. And then you basically just paste it all here. And then just find the place where we have this URL that we added and replace it with the YouTube link from Airtable, because this is going to be different every time. So we want this to be a dynamic element. And then you can just save this. And the next module is also Apify module, get dataset items. And here you need to get this dataset ID. This is this you can find in the search, default dataset ID. So choose this one. And then you can put the limit as 1, because we only want one result. And then OK. And the last module for each of these routes is going to be Airtable's update the record. And what's important to know here is that you always have to get this record ID. This is always from the webhooks module. Then the action field, you want to disable this map field and choose done. And for this YouTube module, we're using also description text and also the transcript. So you get all of this from this get dataset items module. And then just save this module. And now we're done with the whole thing. So next, we have write block draft from any written copy. So go back to the router, add a new route, and set up a new filter. So here again, the condition is the action must be write block draft from any written copy. OK. And then the first module is going to be Perplexity AI. And here's where it gets interesting with the prompt library that we have in Airtable. So basically, I'm using Perplexity AI, but you can use ChatGPT or Claude, whatever you like for your blog posts. And first, I am using the system prompt. So I have chosen the system role. And then here you can see from the parse JSON field, you now see all of the prompts that you have here in Airtable. And for the system prompt, I have this prompt number 7. And the description says system prompt, active language, blah, blah, blah. So I have to use this prompt field to populate it here. And then the next item is going to be my user prompt. So for this, the description is write block draft based on text input. So I'm using this prompt here. OK, and then I'm also giving it input from the original Airtable field. So it's either using the ideas that I have set up, Or it can also create a blog post based on the YouTube transcript. So it could be the title of the YouTube video, the transcript, and then I'm also adding the YouTube link. So if this information is available, it's going to create a blog post based on these things. If it's not available, maybe there's only an idea, then these YouTube transcripts and the titles and everything, these are going to be empty anyway. And then the temperature I'm setting as 0.7 and then saving this. And again, this route is ending with Airtable update the record. Again, I'm setting the record ID from the webhook. I'm setting the action as done. And now I'm adding this last Perplexity AI modules output, choices, message, content to this blog post field in Airtable and saving it. So whenever I'm running through this automation route, I can get the blog draft and you can see these here. And if I'm not happy with what it's writing, then I can just go back to prompts, find the prompt for blog, and just update it here. And as you can see, it's just one really short prompt, so I definitely need to update it. Okay, and then basically the same thing as for the newsletter draft. I'm using Claude AI for newsletter because I don't want it to necessarily go and find new information from internet. So here again, I'm using a user prompt for the newsletter and I'm giving it input from my original ideas and maybe the YouTube transcript as well. And here I also add the system prompt, which is often the same one, and then just saving this module. And again, don't forget to finish this off with an Airtable update, idea, action done, and then adding this newsletter output to your Airtable. And then the same thing for LinkedIn post draft, not going to go through it, but don't forget to set up the filter here as well. Then now it gets interesting. Now I'm going to show you how to create those media images. These look like this. So this automation part creates those images and also a LinkedIn post. I can use it in Facebook as well. So how to set this up? So for this, I'm using a tool called Placid.app. So this is a paid tool. You get some free credits, but you probably have to switch to a paid plan if you want to start using it more. But basically, you just have to set up these templates. And for each template, there is a dynamic part that you can change through this automation. And for me, it's this title. So I have a full video about setting up this whole route. So I'll link this below as well. But quickly to go over it, I'm using Perplexity AI module to get the text for the social media part. So again, I'm using the prompts from my prompt library, and it's using the input or the transcript of the YouTube video. And I also need to create the title for the image, so it has to be less than 100 characters. So this is another Perplexity AI module. And then I have 3 Placid modules for each image template. So one is a square image, one is a portrait mode image, and one is a landscape mode image. So quickly just going through this. So you just have to connect your account, pick the exact template. And then for the text part, I'm choosing this less than 100 characters output from Perplexity AI. So this is from here. And then the last module, again, update the Airtable. And here, make sure you add the LinkedIn post, the text part, and also the images. So you just need to add the image URL, and it's going to be uploaded to Airtable. And make sure you are adding a new image file for each of these 3 templates. So this is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. Don't add the second one right after the first one here. So just one URL per field. And okay. And then the next automation that I'm using a lot, and that's also a bit different. This is about taking TikTok videos, adding the link here, and then using this repost TikTok videos action item here. So how this works. And again, this is a separate video for this whole setup, step by step. I'm going into more details there. So I'll link this video below as well. So basically here again, I'm using Appify. And if you go to Appify, go to the store and find another actor. And this time I'm using TikTok data extractor. So here, a number of videos that you want to scrape is 1. This profiles part you can leave empty, search part as well. And then the video URLs, you're going to put 1 video URL here manually. And then download TikTok videos, make sure you enable all of these options here. And then run through this scraper at least once. So when you go back to make.com and add a new module, Appify run an actor, and again run an actor, not run a task. And then you should see this free TikTok scraper as an option here. Then again, run synchronously should be added as yes. And then we're back to this input JSON. So go back to appify.com and up here where we had the manual setup, go to JSON and then copy all of this information and put it here. And now again, let's find this URL and get rid of this. And here we want to replace it with our TikTok link. And this is, of course, going to be different every time. And then just save it. Then the next Appify module is get dataset items. Here again, connect your account. Default dataset ID is the one you want to choose and limit to 1. Now, the next module is going to be HTTP module, get a file. So we want to download the video file for some of these reposting modules. For this, you just have to find from the last module download address, and you can find it by searching here. Okay, and then you're adding another router. And here it depends on where you want to post all of these videos. For me, I want to post it for my personal LinkedIn profile. So I have made the connection, then I get this file from the last step. The content part is going to be from Appify. So this is going to be the description that I have in TikTok. It's going to put it into a description in LinkedIn as well. So this is the text part here. And here, visibility public, and it can go to main feed. The same goes for a Facebook page. This goes on to my business page. Then another module, but this time for an organizations page on LinkedIn. And then I'm also adding it to YouTube Shorts. But for YouTube Shorts, you have to add another AI module because you need the title here as well. And it's less than 100 characters. So you have to use this small module to take the input and instruct it to give some type of title based on the input, but it has to be less than 100 characters. This is going to be added here, the title from the last module and file from HTTP module. And then you can say if you want to have this as a public, or you can just upload it as a draft first, so you can go and update it if needed. And the description, you can add this text from the Appify scraper. And then the last route is going to be update the record in Airtable. And here I'm just updating the description of the video because I get this from Appify's scraper. And then I'm adding these short updates about like, okay, this was shared to LinkedIn, this was shared to Facebook, Instagram or YouTube Short or whatever. So I know like this has already gone out. And you can also add Instagram Reels module here, but you can also only use it with Instagram for Business. Okay, and we're getting close to the end. 3 more modules, but these are the easy ones. So one is for short video scripts. Again, this is just an AI module. You have to prompt it and give input. So I'm using the similar prompts that I have in my Airtable here. I'm adding the input and system prompt, and then updating the Airtable at the end. And again, here are also the filters set up. Each one has the specific filter connected to the action that we're choosing in Airtable. And the last one is going to be the research report. This is done by Perplexity AI because it searches the internet as well. So I'll just give it an input as my idea, and it will output the researched text based on that. And then again, Airtable update. So this is it. Once you have all of this set up with your own accounts, then just save it here and then turn it on here as well. Make sure that this automation trigger in Airtable is also set up for you, and everything is saved. And then you can just start by using the system however you need to. And one thing is you can also filter these views, so you can create new views to make it easier for you to just filter through the TikToks or the YouTube videos or whatever you need. And also one good option is to add this form. So let's say I want to add the ideas. Let's create this ideas input. And here we can just move these ideas here, and we can hide everything else. Okay, and now we only have the ideas field and actions field here. And we can remove the Airtable branding, and we can show submit another response button here as well. So this is not the place where you put the ideas, but you can use this open form or share form. And then you can bookmark this link, and you can just add your ideas, AI marketing in 2025. And you can already set up some type of action here if you want to. You can just store the idea and just submit it as is. Or add the idea here, cats or dogs, and then start writing a LinkedIn post, for example. And now it got added to my database here, and it's starting the automation right away. So basically, that's my whole content system for now, but I'm going to keep improving it, and I'll let you know how it goes. And in the meantime, join aimarketingmasters.com to get this make.com automation blueprint and also the Airtable template. Bye!